Hello, Folkarinos. Welcome back to Duty's Daggers, where this morning we are doing another cut test. This is the Oknife Splint, and it's from Olight. Olight makes knives also, called O-Knives. You know, if they start making cars, they'll probably be called O-Cars. You know, if they start making, I don't know, coffee beans, it'll be O-Beans. I don't know. The blade steel here is S35VN, and this was sent to me by Olight, Oknife. Didn't pay for it. Just this is a loaner they sent me to check out. But they said I could do a cut test with it, which is really cool of them. So I'm stoked to see how this cuts. This is not something, this is not a blade shape I usually use or cut with. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it does. It's not a super upswept tip. I can't even honestly tell if it is. If it is, it's very slight. And I was a little surprised to see the tip is a little lower than I initially thought it was. You'll see what I mean here in a minute when we do some utility cuts. But the factory edge is okay, not like insanely sharp, but it was definitely cutting paper very easily. Thickness behind the edge, it's on the thicker side, but it's not outrageous. Around 20 thousandths. So let's start with 20 feet of cardboard, regular thickness cardboard. It's going through pretty easily. You'll see there's a few times where I slip out of my cut, and that's because of the belly. If you're doing a lot of slicing on cardboard, less belly is better. What happens is, as you're going through the cut, because of the pressure you're putting into the cut, the edge wants to kind of the whole knife kind of angles upward in your fist, and if there's belly, once the cardboard reaches that belly portion, it just you kind of slide out. So yeah, it cuts cardboard pretty easily, but you just have to be kind of conscious of not slipping out of the cut. But as far as the thickness of the blade stock and the cutting geometry, besides the belly portion, it cut cardboard pretty well. So here's what I mean. I thought I was gonna have to raise my wrist up super duper high to get to the tip, but I mean that's definitely high. Not as high as I thought it was gonna be though. But you'll see here in a second that utility cuts is not really this knife's strong suit. It's just not, for some reason it wasn't cutting all the way through the cardboard. I think that has to do with, obviously, not a low tip, it's not a sheepswood or Wharncliffe or something like that. And the measurement behind the edge actually gets much thicker toward the tip on this knife. I think that has a lot to do with it as well. I tried kind of using a little bit down from the tip, that kind of portion of the belly of the knife, and it wasn't really getting through either. I tried going way up to the tip, and it did a little bit better up there, but still not really cutting all the way through. So, utility cutting, not this knife's jam. Let's see where our edge is at. Yeah, still cutting paper. This definitely has dulled a little bit. It's a pretty small knife too. I could just barely get a full grip on it. There's not a super pronounced choke up spot. There is a small one where you can get kind of your first knuckle into, but not much more than that. It's just a small knife, Let's try cutting some leather. Cutting some leather glove here. It did really well. I think this is kind of the strong suit of this knife. I've really been realizing, especially lately, that having some belly is really good for this kind of like food prep style cutting. Wharncliffes do okay with this, but really having a little belly is better. It's more surface area of the edge down on the surface cutting. So, and there is a difference between doing draw cuts, utility style draw cuts, and this kind of cutting down on a surface. It's two different kinds of cuts. So that went through the leather very well. I think this is the strong suit. of this knife, kind of a food prep situation. I will say it is very, very fidgety and fun. A lot of deployments on this knife. You got the front flipper, the regular flipper, and the hole. Just a lot of ways to open it. I really like the front flipper, how it kind of is like a mohawk style top slash front flipper. Here we are on the 2-inch strap, but I'm going about halfway through. Same as with the cardboard, you know, with that much belly, you kind of end up slipping out of the cut a little bit sooner than you want to. But back to this mohawk front flipper thing, it's really fun. You kind of don't have to pay attention as much where you're putting your thumb, since it's kind of a large area. It's a large flipper. So you kind of you place your thumb up there wherever it kind of lands, and you draw it back and the blade just pops out. So it's kind of fun. That's definitely my favorite way to deploy the knife, is this top front flipper thing. So it didn't do great on the strap, about halfway through all 3 times. Let's try this hard plastic pallet strap stuff. Went through pretty easy. This is pretty easy for knives to get through, but it does dull edges pretty quickly, since it's like a real hard plastic. So that's kind of the reason that it's in here in the testing. We've definitely lost some bite on our edge. See here in a second that we're cutting paper if you get the right angle, but definitely not easily cutting paper anymore. All right, is it strapping time yet? I forget. What are we doing? Yeah, there's that top flipper. It's just real fun. It's fun to use. It's a fun, snappy little guy, you know? This is much more of like a fun, fidgety knife than like a super hard user for, you know, I mean, obviously it's a smaller knife, but I think this would be a good kind of medium, you know, light, you know, well, more light than medium. Kind of a light duty, fun, fidgety EDC knife is kind of how I view this guy. Just kind of testing this kind of like food prep style cutting with this belly. I really think that is, like I said, the strong suit here. It's just, you know, this kind of belly is good for that kind of stuff. Yep. Unfortunately, our edge has definitely dulled quite a bit. This would be a fail as far as, you know, being able to cut paper. So let's strap it up, see how this S35VN responds to a little bit of leather strapping. We're going to do 10 strokes per side. Now, this is the first time I've seen a titanium frame lock from Oknife, unless there's one that I'm not aware of or I'm not thinking of. And they seem to have done a pretty good job. I mean, well, when I say they, I'm talking about Kaiser. Kaiser is the one that, you know, builds these Oknives. And you could tell, Kaiser just, you know, they make really good knives. They do solid detents. The fit and finish is good. And you can tell, this knife seems to be really well made. It's the scales are contoured titanium, which is nice. Just, you know, nice snappy detent, perfectly tuned detent for all the deployments. You know, real smooth on the drop. The milled titanium pocket clip works really good. Yeah, my only real complaint about the knife aesthetically is the huge Oknife logo that they put right there. I really wish they would change that logo or just take it off completely, or at least make it smaller. I'm not sure why they haven't, because I think almost everybody that reviews an Oknife mentions the logo and how they wish it was changed or different. So, and I know that Oknife, Olight, watches reviews, so I don't know why they have not changed that yet. It seems like a really no-brainer decision to change the logo or make it smaller. Please, please. It makes the knife feel cheaper than it is, and this is not a cheaply made knife at all. It's a premium knife, but the logo just makes it feel and look a little less premium than it is. So please change the logo. Overall, I think it did okay. Like I said, this is kind of a light duty, fun, fidgety knife. Not really an amazing cutter. But there you go. The Oknife Splint. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like the video before you head out today, and have a good one. I'll see you next time.